Hello, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Samantha. I'm an artist and creator here on YouTube, and this channel is all about inspired living for multi-passionate people and artists alike. Today, I am sharing part of my artist journey by doing this watercolor portrait tutorial. This is going to be a very colorful portrait. I'm very excited. The first step that I do, and it's not always the same step, but the first step that I did in this one is to lay a simple wash of color. This is going to be the local colors, as what other artists say. So I start by saturating the edges of the portrait and then use this mopping technique to pull the water towards the center of her face. The center of her face is usually like less saturated, a little lighter, value-wise. That is my cat that you may have heard because he wants a lap to sit in. Anyway, the next part is also laying the local color for the hair. And this distinguishes the hair from the face. We are laying in a darker value somewhat as well. I also focused on her bangs and at the back where her bun is. I wasn't able to film this, but I did set some local colors on her lips and on the ribbon for some reason, maybe because it was around the same color. And then I started focusing on the eyes. So this is where you're gonna see more of like the concept of subsurface scattering, where whenever you have a thinner skin on the face, it will have more redness to it, more veining, and when you hold it against the light, you will see more of that red tone to it. So the eyes, the lips, they usually have that characteristic. And now I am reinforcing the color yellow by adding it again to the edges of the face and pulling it towards the middle, kind of outlining her jawline a little bit here too. That was really perfectly heart-shaped, but I'm adding some red to her cheeks because of the flush of her cheeks. I'm gonna add like a little diagram here, but usually you're gonna see more red in the center part of the face, more yellow in the upper part of the face because the light hits the forehead and there's more of that yellow tone to the top of your face. And then a lot of artists use blues and greens and purples for the shadows of the face, which you will see right here. I'm adding some blue to that back end of her neck where there's more shadow. Then I am being a little bit sparing with this because this is the first like bright color that I'm using, but you will see that this will really come together. I'm also using that same blue on her hair. So starting off up top, this really ties in with the blue for the shadow of her face. This one I became a little bit more daring and decided to use the blue on more of like the curls of her bun.
I love when you're daring on the curls of her bun.
Babe. That was my husband that you probably heard because he said that he was trying to find a moment to interject while I was recording just for fun. And you know what? I'm just going to keep it. We are in a good spot here. Okay, next part is I am adding some green to her eyes. She has beautiful green eyes. And that green will also tie to the color of her scarf. We're going to add some green to that front part. We're going to use this wet on wet technique as well to add in any yellows for the lighter values. Just right there. And then this is where it's just going to be highly multicolored because the scarf is multicolored, and I think that's why everything really tied in with this piece, because I used the same color on the scarf as it was on the face, and everything just kind of came together. I'm using this like raspberry pink, which is, I don't think I used it from the palette. I think I ended up pulling out my Dr. P.H. Martin's concentrated watercolors to get this effect, and it was very effective. Adding some bright orange to the ribbon, and also at the bottom of her scarf. And then here we are reinforcing even more of the shadows with that brown. It's like a purpley brown, so it kind of ties in the blue and the red and the brown that we used as a flat layer earlier. Also using that same brown to emphasize her bangs a little bit more. Then we're going back and forth between the blue and the brown. Kind of just mixing these colors together. Then I'm going down to some of the really noticeable strokes of hair in the front part of her face. And then we are really starting to kind of sketch out the big blocks of shapes at the back of her head to emphasize her bun and just mainly the shape of her hair. Then we're going with the flat wash of blue. Just tie it all together. I'm using this really saturated red for some details on her lips. Then with the same concept of subsurface scattering, we are adding more orange to the ears. The ears also have that quality. So the orange in the ears and the orange in the nose and a little bit of the chin, and the orange right where you have like the eyelid and the brow bone. It's all like kind of popping out. Next, we're gonna emphasize more of that blue, but I'm using more of an indigo type blue instead of that really bright cerulean-y, that's even a word, blue. And then you're just emphasizing more of the waves of her hair as it is kind of swaying back. Now we're going in with a darker brown because that is the base color that we use, and we just want to make it more cohesive. Kind of sketching with the paint at this point by using more of those detail brushes. And I'm going in with that bright red for her ribbon at the back, and then using that same detail brush for her nose, her lips, her ears, some of the details on her ears, curves. You can still use that pulling technique even if you're using a detail brush. Then this is a liner brush that I'm using for those really closed parts of the lips to indicate those shadows. So far, that red that I used in her mouth is more of like darkest value that I've used so far. I'm also going to use it on her eyes for like an eyeliner type thing. But what's very important when it comes to choosing your darks, number one, I rarely use like pure black. I like using just darker values of whatever colors are already there because I want it to tie in, be more cohesive. Next, we are going in with some watercolor pencils, actually. So these are water soluble colored pencils that end up becoming watercolor when you use water to activate them. We're using that for more of the details in her hair, actually going like more hair strokes instead of blocking the shape of the hair. We're going in with more details here. And then we're using more colors like that lavender. Really like this color. That lavender is tying in that blue with the red on the hair, making it more purple. And then we have activated some of those pencils using water and also adding in a little bit more paint to really deepen it. So it's a matter of balance, kind of see how the pencils react to the water, what the effect is, and then go back with paint, go back with the pencils, adding more pencil strokes, and also using like a yellow for like the highlights in her hair, and then finally using a red pencil for some outlining to make it seem more sketch-like, and then finishing off her eyes. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell for more videos about art tutorials and inspired living for multi-passionates. I really appreciate you being here. I've been watercolor painting for about, give or take, 3 years now, and it's been such a joy to do this, and I hope that you learned a couple tricks of the trade to help you with your practice. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you later. Bye.